We've got some Friday night ACC action between Virginia Tech and Boston College. It's all in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, and we will have your coverage for 3304 Kickoff. Alongside of Giovanni Heater, I'm Kevin DiDomenico. Gio, let's start with Virginia Tech. What are we looking for them to do here this week?
Well, Kevin, this is a team in Virginia Tech that is starting to find their identity offensively, and it all starts with the running game. It's freshman tailback Malachi Thomas, who has absolutely lit it up the last couple of weeks, had 3 touchdowns and 151 yards on the ground against Syracuse, then surpassed 100 yards last week at Georgia Tech as well. And they're also starting to develop the pass game in a win on the road at Georgia Tech. Burmeister finally looking healthy, but through it all, this is a team that is staying together through a lot of adversity and keeping their hopes alive for a bowl win later on this season.
Boston College as well on the other side, a team that has struggled their last couple games after winning their first 4 this season.
Yeah, Boston College had high hopes coming into this season, especially with quarterback Phil Jakovic, but he goes out in week 2, and the wheels just kind of start to fall off for Boston College. Their struggles offensively are real. Only scored 6 total points last week on the road in the Dome against Syracuse. 2 of them were field goals. They couldn't even get in the end zone. Now, Syracuse is a great defense, but Boston College struggles to find the end zone, struggles to pass the football, struggles to run the football. One of the worst offenses in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Giovanni, I'll tell you what, it is going to be a special night, Friday night for Boston College at Alumni Stadium. It is the Red Bandana game. For more on that, we have a feature story from our own Carter Hill.
Yeah, guys, Friday night will be a huge matchup for both Virginia Tech and Boston College's 2021 campaigns, but that'll be far from the focus, as all the attention will be directed towards former BC lacrosse player Wells Crowther, who is considered a hero for his role in the 9/11 attacks on the World Trade Center in Lower Manhattan. Crowther grew up always carrying a red bandana in his back pocket. In fact, he even had it under his lacrosse uniform in high school and while he suited up for the Eagles. He then graduated from Boston College in 1999 and moved back to his suburban New York roots, where he worked in the World Trade Center for 2 years, and he was actually in the South Tower when United Airlines Flight 175 struck the building around 9 a.m. He then unselfishly went to the rescue, saving close to 20 people and getting them out of the building before it collapsed near 10 a.m. When those survivors were asked how they got out of the building, they said it was the man with the red bandana. That's when Crowther's parents knew they had raised a hero. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, Carter, the red bandana game has emerged as one of the newest and most heartfelt traditions in college football. Now, Kevin, we talked about it earlier. The Virginia Tech offense struggled mightily at the beginning portion of this season, but down the home stretch, they're starting to finally find their stride a little bit.
Well, Giovanni, I'll tell you, last week, 2 words, Trey Turner, 187 yards through the air, a score to go along with it. When he gets going, this Tech offense gets going as well. Tavion Robinson, 4 receptions to eclipse that 100 receptions mark on his career, and the tight ends getting involved as well. Nick Gallo had a big reception, and Drake DeLulis, his first career touchdown to go along with it.
And then how about the defensive side of the football? They were the staple of this football team all season long, and then they fell apart against Syracuse. A lot of people said that they kind of gave that game away in the final 3 minutes down the home stretch. Their backs were against the wall, and they delivered in Atlanta against Georgia Tech. The Yellow Jackets were making a final late push, but the Hokies put a halt to it. There was a strip sack, then there was a 4th and 2 stop in the red zone. Amari Barno came off the edge for a 10-yard sack against Jeff Sims, and then finally the game capped off with an Armani Chapman interception that sealed the deal in the ATL for the Hokies.
Well, Giovanni, our viewers will be surprised that we haven't mentioned this guy yet, Malachi Thomas, who's had some pretty impressive performances the last 2 games. Our own Colby Talley has more on him.
Yeah, that's right, Kevin. Malachi Thomas, a freshman running back for Virginia Tech who got his first start 2 weeks ago against Syracuse, has been absolutely phenomenal for the Hokies as of late. And he's been doing a lot of work for an offense that has struggled in the passing game, 4th worst in the ACC, so it's really important for him to be getting those yards on the ground. 254 total rushing yards, that is the most in consecutive games by any running back in Fuente's tenure, and he also has 3 touchdowns to go along with it. Now, only one question remains. Can he sustain that success? Boston College has a middle-of-the-pack ranking in its rushing defense in the ACC, so the potential is definitely there for another big game.
Yeah, Malachi Thomas, a guy who had no expectations coming into this year, a 4th-string running back as well. But you look on the other side of the ball, Boston College, a team with plenty of expectations at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, Boston College was expected to place third in the ACC in the preseason rankings, and this is a team that, with NC State, with Clemson, were expected to possibly be dangerous and make a little bit of noise in the ACC, and after Djokovic's injury, things just didn't really plan out. This is a team started the season 4-0, Kevin. They took down the Missouri Tigers on the road, a matchup in Week 4 that went to overtime, so things were looking good in Chestnut Hill. Since then, the wheels have completely fallen off. This is a team that did not win a single game in October and is winless in ACC conference play.
Credit their demise a little bit to Phil Djokovic going down in Week 2. For more on Phil Djokovic and that quarterback situation, our own Katie Adams.
For Boston College, it's a season of thinking, what if? Going into the year, all eyes were on starting quarterback Phil Djokovic, as he had established himself as one of the conference's best. He was now firmly settled in with the offense and had notable key pieces around him, including a veteran offensive line and a top wide receiver in Zay Flowers. Djokovic was poised for an impressive year, but after an injury to his throwing hand in just Week 2, backup Dennis Grosel was the obvious choice to replace him. He helped BC improve to 4-0 for the first time since 2007, but became inconsistent as ACC play rolled around, leaving them winless in the conference. Head coach Jeff Hafley elected to give the freshman Emmett Moorhead shared control of the offense last week against Syracuse, where both quarterbacks played notable minutes, and Moorhead showed flashes of what his potential could be. An Alexandria, Virginia native, Moorhead is likely to get his first collegiate start coming against none other than Virginia Tech. Could he turn the season around for Boston College? All eyes will be under center on Friday night. Guys.
Yeah, thanks, Katie. A lot to unpack there when you talk about the quarterback situation in Chestnut Hill. But, Kevin, these are two teams right now that sit at 4 wins apiece, both trying to make a push for a bowl game. You're getting into that November slate of your schedule. It's crunch time for both squads. Friday night means a lot, especially with the lights on full display. Friday night ACC primetime matchup. Give me a key to the game for each squad.
Let's look at Boston College first, Giovanni. It's going to be all about quarterback play. Katie just mentioned it, but it's going to be Emmett Moorhead, the third stringer for the start. If he can get going or at least create some sort of offense for Boston College, they'll have a chance in this game. For Virginia Tech, hey, it's corny, but establish the run. Malachi Thomas has been impressive the last 2 games. If he can keep it going, Virginia Tech wins in Chestnut Hill.
7:30 kickoff. It's going to be on ESPN2. You can find it ACC primetime matchup, Virginia Tech and Boston College. Both teams in the bowl hunt. Boston College trying to come away with their first conference win of the season. Virginia Tech trying to pick up 2 in a row. Thanks so much for tuning in today on the 3304 Kickoff Show. For our producers in the booth, Andy Losi and Jake Lyman. For our reporters, Katie Adams, Carter Hill, and Kobe Talley. And for my partner here at the desk, Kevin DiDomenico. I'm Giovanni Heater. Enjoy your college football weekend, and so long from Blacksburg.